Monsters at Work is finally coming to Disney Plus in 2021, after being slated for release in 2020. A short trailer for the series was released along with the announcement of a July premiere date. John Goodman and Billy Crystal return to the cast as furry blue monster James P. Sullivan, Sully, and a one-eyed green orb, Mike Wazowski, respectively. They'll be joined by a new character, Tyler Tuskman, an aspiring comedian who will be voiced by Ben Feldman. According to early reports, the new series would begin 6 months after the conclusion of the first film. Unlike the 2013 predecessor, Monsters University, the show will focus on how the monster world is adapting to utilize laughter instead of screams as a source of power. It's Pixar's first foray into television animation, with episodes based on Cars, Up, and fresh concepts set to premiere in the coming months. Stephen J. Anderson, director of Disney's Meet the Robinsons and Winnie the Pooh films, Rob Gibbs and Kate Good direct Monsters at Work, set decorator previously. Robert Sganaway worked on the project for Pixar and Disney. Pete Docter developed the characters in this film. The new sneak look reveals some of the antics that the new leadership team will engage in. The MIFT is called into action in one such instance, averting a Mike-shaped door calamity. It's the first step forward for the franchise since Monsters University, which successfully harkened back to Mike and Sully's college days in 2013. Yes, it has been that long. The day after the Monsters, Inc. power plant began harvesting children's laughter to fuel the city of Monstropolis, thanks to Mike and Sully's discovery that laughing creates 10 times more energy than screaming, Monsters at Work takes place. As you may recall, Monsters, Inc. switched from using screams to using children's laughter for energy towards the end of the first film. The new Monsters at Work features a core voice cast that includes John Goodman, Sully, Billy Crystal, Mike, and Jennifer Tilly, Celia, as well as some new faces, 20 years after one of Pixar's most popular animated efforts. Tyler Tuskman, played by Ben Feldman, is a Scare Major graduate who fantasizes about working alongside Mike and Sully. Taylor Tuskman, the enthusiastic young monster who graduated top of his class at Monsters University and always dreamed of becoming a scarer until he finds a position at Monsters Incorporated, is the protagonist of the animated film. Mandy Kaling, Aisha Tyler, and Henry Winkler are part of the cast. John Ratzenberger reprises his roles as Yeti and Bernard. Jennifer Tilly reprises her role as Celia May, and Rob Peterson reprises his role as Rose, the twin sister of his original Monsters, Inc. character, Roz. Ganaway and producer Farrell Barron revealed that workers from Walt Disney Animation Studios and Pixar were also involved in the series during the 2019 D23 Expo, describing the collaboration as unique and special. Monsters, Inc. creators, including director and Pixar's chief creative officer, Pete Docter, gave the crew both utilized and abandoned concept drawings from the film, with the latter being reused for the series. There have been a lot of relationships that have made us cry during the years that Pixar has been making movies. Whether it's Carl and Ellie from Up, Wally and Eve from Wall-E, and Buzz and Woody's bond. Perhaps no connection in Monsters, Inc. meant more to fans than Sully and Booze. In this film, the two characters develop a bond with one another and with the audience, who fell in love with them. After all, it's been 20 years since the debut of Monsters, Inc. So many fans are bound to have their own thoughts on how Sully and Boo's relationship should progress. In the film's final scene, Sully returns to meet Boo, but the facts are purposefully left ambiguous. Those hoping for a brand new Mike and Sully buddy adventure may be disappointed, based on the trailer. The focus is primarily on Tyler and his gang, and the original Monsters, Inc. couple acting as a sidekick. Executive producer Robert Sganaway explained at a press conference for Monsters at Work that the decision was made not to include Boo in the new show, and likely not in any future Monsters, Inc. projects, because they want the future of Sully and Boo's relationship to be decided by the audience, not by Pixar's story team. Ganaway said in an interview that Pete Docter and I had a good chat about Boo, and we both decided that the relationship between Boo and Sully is so sweet and so wonderful, that we want to leave it to the world to define how that relationship proceeds, rather than defining it. Pete, as well as the rest of us, value this. It's not that we don't love Boo and don't want to see her again. It's just that the relationship is so valuable to us that we definitely do not want to let it go. These remarks are left to the audience's interpretation, and it appears that Pixar is not only in no haste to respond, but is actively avoiding doing so. Part of the reason the second Monsters, Inc. film was produced as a prequel rather than a sequel, according to director Pete Docter, was to avoid dealing with this subject. Any official response in the form of a Pixar story will differ in some ways from the story that the audience has created for themselves, and Pixar does not want to get involved. While we may see further seasons of Monsters at Work or possibly additional Pixar films set in the Monsters, Inc. universe, it does not appear like the narrative of Sully and Boo will be explored in any of them. That story has reached its conclusion as far as Pixar is concerned. Monsters at Work will premiere on Disney Plus in July, and you will be able to watch it right away on the app. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash that like button. Comment down your thoughts on Monsters at Work. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified of our next video, and I will see you next time.